What's cracking, guys? Omar Isov here, back with another video. In this video today, I want to talk all about what some of you guys have been commenting on, why essentially I've stopped directly training my arms over the last few weeks, and why I don't plan on training them directly for at least the next few months. And there's a rational reason behind this. This isn't clickbait. I know a lot of bros out there see this video, it's like, you fucking need arm work and you're not doing any more arm work. What the hell are you thinking about? And this is a talk about specificity and basically the goals that you have and how there's a time and place for everything. Let me break this down, why I've not been training my arms directly, why I won't be for the next short term, and why I think that's a very good idea for my other big goals. Essentially what it boils down to is that I'm tighter than a motherfucker. Getting into the weightlifting positions, as you guys know, I care about weightlifting. I want to become at the least mediocre at it. One can dream. And right now, I can't get into all the proper positions. Over time, you build up kind of tightness, positions you're more comfortable in. And so when it came to weightlifting, I kind of came into it all tight, lacking the mobility. And what the wizard has noted is that my clean position, so when you try and catch the bar like so, I just kind of can't get into it. And I've done numerous different drills. I worked on shoulder flexion and external rotation. That's really helped. But just bending the arm back, it's not happening. You'll notice a lot of weightlifters, when it comes to their arm size, they're not humongous. Why? Because they usually don't directly train their arms. One, because it doesn't have a strong carryover when it comes to weightlifting, but two, it can make the arms tight, which makes it harder to get into that clean position, to bend your arm like so. And I was experiencing the same thing. I worked on my snatch position a whole lot. I worked on the hips, I worked on my ankles, I worked on the shoulder, and that worked out great. I was able to finally get into a solid snatch position. But when it comes to the clean and jerk, catching the clean, I would continuously, no matter what I'd try and do, because I'd be training my arms directly the whole time, I wouldn't be able to get into that position. And this is where, once again, specificity comes into play. I can't currently get into it, so I've given something up, training directly my arms so they, one, don't get bigger, two, they don't get as sore, as tight, and so it's just easier to train for weightlifting. But eventually, once I get that mobility, I can reincorporate it. Let me kind of break this down, and I'm going to talk about a lot of things, how it relates to you guys. But did you know last year, I actually stopped when I was trying to get, once again, that mobility for the snatch. You got to be able to have that internal, external rotation. I stopped doing the bench press because, once again, when I was doing the bench press, my pec minor in particular would kind of get tight. And what that would cause is that my elbows, I would internally rotate too much. I can't get in that strong position. So I stopped benching temporarily to work on that mobility in order to get in that strong position. Once I was able to do that, my arms can lock out, everything felt fine. Then I slowly reintroduced the bench. But once again, it took a while, and now I'm finally back on that Kaizen training, my program, the 12-week bench program. I'm doing it 3 times a week. Everything feels fine, but you have to build that mobility. So sometimes, as people kind of say, you got to sacrifice to win. And when the wizard talks, I fucking listen, because I highly respect this dude. I can't wait to reveal within 2 weeks who he is, who I'm getting coached by, and just the overall program. But it was noticed, like, you know what, man, you're not getting into a solid clean. Maybe this direct arm work isn't a good idea. I'm like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I'm throwing that shit out. So here's the plan, like I said, for the next probably 2.5 months, so in total 3.5 months, I'm not going to go with any real direct arm work, just once again to develop that mobility. And this kind of relates once again to a lot of different goals that people have. You got to choose. You can't quite be that jack of all trades, master of none. You get nowhere. And I'll give you an example. If you want to be kind of a competitive strength athlete, trying to maximize your size at the same time is quite hard. Take into consideration maybe a 12-week peak you do for a prep when you want to compete. Well, in that 12-week prep, you're actually going to be doing a lot less volume. You're going to be doing less kind of other exercises that aren't specific to your goals. So basically, you're just doing a squat, bench, deadlift. You're lowering the volume. That's not going to be conducive towards building muscle. And in that way, you're kind of sacrificing temporarily for a long-term goal that you have. You're selecting one goal that's more important, and you're moving towards that. And that's essentially what I'm doing. As a bro, I know it's sometimes hard to kind of, let's say, check your ego at the door. We all want bigger arms, you know, bigger upper body, just to grow in general. And I am definitely the same way. But what's more important to me, as you guys probably note, with all the weight that's been increasing, like I'm squatting finally more weight. I hit 385 for 5, high bar, beltless, no problem. The overhead press is going up, is that I care kind of about that strength and performance. I am young. I still have a body that's not broken. I still have aspirations and dreams. I want to hit those weightlifting goals. So temporarily, yeah, you guys have noted, and it's completely true, I've stopped training my arms, and you can tell. But it's, once again, short-term sacrifice for long-term gains. I'll be able to get in those positions, then eventually I'll be able, once again, like the bench press, to reincorporate arm training. And this is just, once again, kind of a lesson. Like, we all have these big goals. Sometimes small sacrifices of a certain goal have to be made to attain the other goal, like preparing for a powerlifting meet, or let's say if you want to diet down, right, where you're being needlessly restrictive because you want to get down into that really good shape, your strength is going to take a hit. So it's all kind of about that balance. Right now, I'm trying to focus on that performance, trying not to be the potato, trying to be actually okay at weightlifting. So I'm sacrificing a little bit of that aesthetics, but long-term goal, I'll incorporate it back. So not clickbait at all. I decided to make the video after I read the comments. I'm like, this is actually a really good topic. I got to be upfront with everyone, and I got to explain the order of priorities when it comes to things. There is a long-term master plan. The ass chest will be making a return. The, let's call them pencils, will be turning into semi-pythons. I want to get my arms past 16.5 inches. Right now, honestly, at around 178 pounds, they're probably barely 16 inches. But by the end of the year, towards over 16.5 inches, natty, lean, ripped to the bones, just having striated glutes on my chest for the ass chest. That's it, guys. That's all I want to say. That is the video. Keep that in mind when it comes to your goals. Sometimes you have to select one and really work towards it, and sacrifice, therefore, other goals. That's all I want to say. If you like the video, I'm looking right at you. Like the damn video, and I'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace.
Eat your vegetables, eat your vegetables, eat your fucking vegetables.